Welcome back. Dyslexia is a lifelong condition that makes it difficult for people to read, and it's the most common learning issue in the world.
Here to tell us how their organization guides individuals affected by dyslexia are Carrie and Haley Buchholz. Welcome back to the show. Great to see you again.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Good to have you with us. So let's start with just kind of sort of how do you start to maybe look at, okay, I'm having some issues or challenges with my son or daughter. When's the right time to go get them tested?
We really are focusing on early interventions, so we can successfully screen or diagnose as early as 5.5 years old, as long as they've been in some sort of a structured learning environment for about a year. So preschool, certainly into that first grade year, we should really be looking at them.
What are some of the signs parents need to kind of take note of when they're kind of thinking about their children's learning and their reading?
Really, one of those first things I think that we need to look at is just that inability to read well or read fluently. Dyslexia is a learning disability that affects reading and writing most of all. So it's that, not learning those sight words, not knowing those sounds of the letters, falling behind, or maybe just on the edge of those benchmarks that our kids have in that, early years, elementary school years.
So do you diagnose it? I mean, if I took my son or daughter in at 5.5, then do you have, okay, absolutely sure he has dyslexia, or is there still some question marks even after an evaluation, or how does that work?
No, absolutely. We can tell if they have those characteristics of dyslexia, those specific characteristics. It's not just about reading fluency. It's about those little signs of building those skills for reading fluency. So it's auditory discrimination, it's phonemic awareness, and it's using those skills to be able to read fluently. So we really are a comprehensive dyslexia learning center, so we focus on not only that inability to read and write, but all those other things that go along with being dyslexic, like not being able to tie your shoes, or not knowing what time it is, or how to tell time. So some of those things you may not think are a cause of that, but they really are signs and symptoms.
I'm sure it's something that once those parents get the kind of, yep, this is what your child has, it's almost a little bit of a blessing too, to know exactly how to kind of maybe get that help and reach out to you guys.
I tell you what, it is such a relief once you find out what that reason is. And I think mostly, coming from Haley and finding out what, after 2.5 years of struggling to figure out what was going on with him, the relief that there is an answer and there is remediation. Not necessarily that it's easy all the time, but it certainly just works, and it changes lives.
Your mom kind of was going to allude to what I was going to ask. So where do you fit into this whole situation, Haley? What's your story, and are you working with your organization now, or?
What I do for the organization basically is try to connect with the kids and tell them, you're not the only one out there. There's a lot of kids like you that have dyslexia, that have learning disabilities, and you don't have to feel alone in this situation. That's what I mainly felt like when I was first being diagnosed, is that you felt lost and alone in the classroom. You felt misused, and basically you didn't know what to do when you were there.
Or do you still find there's challenges day to day for you?
Yes, I do. What we call is I have dyslexic moments. It's kind of like blonde moments where you slip up here and there, and like B and D's and stuff, and it's always going to be a part of me. I'm always going to have moments of which I slip, or that I have, oh wow, I didn't understand that, didn't comprehend it. It's just a part of my life.
So did you know at a young age in school, like, hey, wait, this isn't quite processing the way it is for other people? And did you ever go talk to mom or talk to people, and how do you?
I started noticing when I didn't have the ability to read. All my other friends and stuff were reading these books and telling me all these great stories that they were getting from these chapters for a reading assignment, and I was sitting here going, I can't read. I have no ability to read. I don't understand it at all.
Wow. I'm sure it's been something that you guys have struggled with, and now you're helping other families go through it too. So we'll continue to talk about this after a quick break.
Right.